If you're thinking about moving to Powell, Ohio, and you want someone to be completely straight and transparent with you, then you're in the right place, no doubt. Because today I am going to give you, I'll say, the full picture, the good, the great, and yes, even some of the stuff that might give you pause. I've been a licensed realtor here in Powell for years. I live and work in this community, and I can tell you I have had many dozens of conversations with people who did every bit of research, move here, and absolutely loved it. But I've also had a few conversations with people who wish someone like me had been a little more upfront with them before they made the move. So that's exactly what I am going to do today. We're talking about 5 pros and 3 real cons of living in Powell, Ohio. No fluff, no sales pitch, just the honest information you deserve before making a decision this big. And stay with me, because one of the cons I'm going to talk about and share is near the end of this video, and it catches every new buyer off guard. And knowing about it ahead of time could save you thousands of dollars. Let's start with the number 1 reason families move to Powell, and it's not even close. It's the schools. The schools here are exceptional. We're talking top 5% in the entire state of Ohio. Powell sits primarily within the Olentangy School District, one of the most respected districts in the entire Columbus metro. Public school students in Powell score about 87% proficiency in both math and reading. The Ohio statewide average, take a guess, put it in the comments down below. I'll give you a second. None? Well, it's not very good. It's 55% in math and 60% in reading. So kids in Powell are outperforming the state average by about 30 points. Olentangy Liberty High School, you've heard me talk about it before, it ranks in the top 20 high schools in all of Ohio and has about a 99% 4-year graduation rate. Tyler Run, where my children went to, ranks 22nd out of about 1,500 elementary schools in the state. This is not just a marketing talking point. These are verified, published scores from the state of Ohio. And here's the thing, when you're spending $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 on a home, the school system is a part of what you're buying. Powell delivers on that in a big way. The next major pro is safety. And this one is where the data is really compelling. According to FBI crime data from the Powell Police Department, over a 5-year period from 2019 through 2024, Powell recorded 0 violent crimes. 0. Property crime runs about 66% below the national average. Now, I want to be fair here. Powell is a smaller city, and any crime data has to be viewed in that context. But when residents talk about Powell, the most commonly reported issues on platforms like Nextdoor are things like petty theft, lost pets, and minor traffic accidents. That is a level of concern we're talking about here. Columbus itself has been working hard on public safety and saw significant crime drops in both 24 and 25. But if you want a suburb where safety is almost never a worry, and where your kids can play outside, walk to school, and grow up in a stress-free environment, Powell consistently ranks among Ohio's safest communities. Here's one that does not always make the highlight reel, but is one of the things people mention most after they move here. The community. Powell has a genuine small town feel, and I mean that in the best possible way. Downtown Powell has local restaurants, coffee shops, boutiques, and a real sense of place. It's a walkable, charming, and active environment. Every Saturday from late May through early October, the Powell Farmers Market runs right in the heart of downtown at North Liberty Street. Fresh produce, local vendors, flowers, baked goods, it becomes a gathering spot for the neighborhood. Twice a year, in May and September, the Powell Street Market draws close to 60 vendors for an outdoor market that transforms downtown into a full community event. And beyond the markets, Powell has excellent parks, trail systems, and the proximity to High Banks Metro Park, which is one of the best nature preserves in Central Ohio. People who move here often tell me the same thing. They thought they were buying a house, but they ended up finding a community. Now, let's talk about your investment. If you're buying in Powell, you are buying in one of the most expensive zip codes in Ohio, and that is actually a good thing when you think about it as an asset. The median home price in Powell is around $590,000 as of late 2025. For context, the average per square foot has risen to over $260, up nearly 13% from about a year ago. And the long-term story is strong. A new Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center outpatient facility. It's a $183 million project. It's currently under construction at Hard Road and Sawmill Parkway, right across the street from Liberty High School. It's scheduled to open in late summer, early fall 2026. It's the single largest economic development project in Powell's history. Projects like that don't hurt property values. Speaking of projects, Powell also saw a new Kroger Plaza open up late last year. That doesn't happen by accident either. Downtown Powell is also undergoing a major redevelopment with the recently opened Cohatch project at North Liberty and East Olentangy, adding a multiple-story co-working space, rooftop bar, and event value to the core of the city. Powell is not a community that is standing still. It's investing in itself, and that benefits every homeowner here. This is often one that surprises people who think they are trading big city access for small town living. Guess what? Powell actually provides both. You're roughly 20 to 25 miles from downtown Columbus, which, by the way, is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire country. Columbus's average commute time is around 22 to 25 minutes, and we're one of the best among U.S. city metros. From Powell, you have direct access to US 23 and State Route 315 heading south into the city. Polaris Parkway and the Polaris Corridor, which is a massive shopping, dining, and entertainment district, is essentially right in your backyard. Intel's massive new Albany semiconductor plant is also bringing thousands of jobs to the greater Columbus region. And that rising economic tide benefits the entire Northwest Corridor. You get the community of a small town and the opportunity of a major metro. That combination is generally rare. All right, all the good stuff. Now, let's talk about some of the cons. And we'll start with, again, something that I've talked about before, property taxes. Here's the one that surprises people the most, and I promised to be straight with you, so here it is. Property taxes in Powell are high. Delaware County has one of the highest property tax rates in the state of Ohio, and in fact, it ranks among the highest in the country. The effective property tax rate in Powell is about 1.86%. What does that mean in real dollars? On a $590,000 home, you're looking at roughly $10,000 to $11,000 a year in property taxes. Some homeowners in certain divisions could pay more, some a little bit less. Now here's the context that matters. A significant portion of that tax bill is going directly to fund the Olentangy local school district. So in a very real sense, you are paying for the school system that's driving your property values and making this one of the most sought after communities in Ohio. But you need to know the number before you buy. When we work through your monthly payment together, we always make sure to factor in the actual property tax, not a generic estimate, so there's no surprises after closing. If you want me to run the real numbers on a specific home before you make an offer, that's exactly what a consultation with me is for. There's a link in the description to book a call. All right, con number 2, the traffic and the commute. The second con is something that you'll hear from almost every Powell resident. Traffic on US 23. During morning and evening rush hours, the US 23 corridor heading south towards Columbus can back up significantly. Heading north towards Delaware, same thing. If you're commuting downtown or to the Polaris area daily, you are going to want to budget extra time during the peak hours. The good news is that a lot of Powell residents have seen this become more manageable with hybrid and remote work schedules. And many employers in the Columbus metro are based on the north side, meaning the commute from Powell can actually be quite short depending upon where you work. But I would rather you know this upfront than be caught off guard after you buy. If you are doing a 5-day-a-week in-office commute to downtown Columbus, build in 30 to 45 minutes each way during rush hour and plan accordingly. The City of Powell's current strategic plan calls out traffic management as a priority. So there is awareness and investment going into this issue. All right, now that we're done with traffic, let's talk about con number 3, the cost of living and home prices. The third con is simple and direct. Powell is expensive. A $590,000 median home price means the entry point here is significantly higher than most Columbus suburbs. You won't find starter homes in the 200s or 300,000s in Powell. This market starts in the mid 400s for most single family homes, and move up homes quickly go to $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 and beyond. And in the property taxes we talked about, potential HOA fees in many neighborhoods, and the cost of living that reflects a premium suburb. And Powell is not the right fit for every budget. Here's what I tell people honestly. If your budget puts you at the very bottom of what Powell offers, you might actually be happier in a community, let's say like Lewis Center or Westerville. Not that there's anything wrong with those places, there isn't. But your dollar may go a little bit further there, and you may be able to get into a home with a little less financial stress. But if Powell is within reach, if the schools, the safety, the appreciation, and the lifestyle align with your family, this is the community that delivers tremendous values for what you pay. So there you have it. 5 real pros and 3 real cons of living in the Powell, Ohio area. Let's quickly recap them for you. Pro number 1, schools. Number 2, safety. Number 3, community and lifestyle. Number 4, home appreciation, investment values. And 5 is access to downtown Columbus and everything the Columbus area has to offer. Now let's reiterate the cons. Number 1, property taxes. Number 2, traffic and commute. And number 3, the cost of living and home prices. I said at the beginning I was going to be straight with you, and I hope you feel that I delivered on that. And here's the thing I always tell people. The best decision is an informed decision. I would rather have a 10-minute conversation with you up front than have you move here or not move here based on incomplete information. If you're seriously considering Powell and you want to talk through your specific situation, what you're looking for, what your budget looks like, whether this market makes sense for you, where your family is headed, I do free 30-minute consultations. The link is right in the description. 0 pressure, 0 obligation. And if you have been watching this series from the beginning, video 1 covers what no one tells you before you move here. Video 2 is everything you need to know before you make your move. And video 3 breaks down exactly what it costs to live here. All 4 videos are linked in the description and in the playlist. I'm Brian Comer with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, the American Realty Center. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and drop a comment below with the question you have been most wanting to ask about Powell. I read and answer every one. Remember, if you're selling or buying, better call Brian, and I'll see you in the next video.